Stop interrogating your customers. Hello, my name is Daniel Hindi, founder and CEO of Gnome AI, and today I want to talk about why your AI workflows are actually killing your conversions. So we've all seen these subpar chatbots that exist on some sites that basically ask you, hey, is this a technical question? Is this a billing question? Are you a new customer? And then, by the way, I'm just going to send you to a link that you just came from. That's acting more like a IVR. You know, when you call up the DMV and then it says, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. That's not how a chatbot should act, and it's not optimizing for the best user experience. You're prioritizing flows and data collections over the experience of the user. And I'm going to show you certain techniques how you can overcome that to act more like a concierge and less like an IVR phone system. The keyword prison. Many times in your chatbots, in your AI, you're using specific terms that are industry specific or company specific. It's the nomenclature that sometimes, and most of the time, your customers don't know. So you're acting like a search bar for optimizing for particular keywords on how to react, how to respond, when your customers may not say it in such words using the same terms, or say it in a way that implies the meaning. So you want to make sure that you don't overhedge towards internal terminology and nomenclature. The dead end logic. When you're building up these flowcharts, you're assuming it's 100% comprehensive, and you're also trying to optimize to get you to one answer to your question. Now, when we're dealing with a shopping experience, you may say, hey, get me a sports car that is under $5,000. Like, okay, well, the answer is going to be 0. That value to the customer and the value to the company was exactly 0. You over-indexed on following a flowchart, gathering the information, and doing a search to provide the response based on the exact metrics given. Where in sales, well, you know, when I go to a car lot, let's say, we'll walk across the showroom. I'll take you across the lot because your eye may pick up other options you were unaware of, or maybe it's slightly outside your pricing range. But the idea is not to try to one-shot the experience. Don't take them through a rigid flow, because the end of that flow could be, sorry, we don't provide that. Or it could take you into this weird infinite loop to say, start over, start over, start over. I already answered these questions. Why are you asking me again? Now, the best way to illustrate these 3 points is showing you an example. So today I've selected Warby Parker. They sell glasses. That could be prescription or sunglasses or anything of the above. But the idea is what they try to optimize for is to find the right frame that suits your personality and suits the shape of your head. First thing to do is let's go over to Gnome AI. And what I'm going to do here is just put in the website and have it generate. So now that it's generated the chatbot, what we want to do is, Gnome AI has done a great job of getting the proper prompts here, but what we want to do is claim this chatbot and then modify our instructions to see what is good and what is bad. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the setup here. Okay, so I'm going to make some changes to the instructions that Gnome AI has gotten for me. So let me just make those quick changes. Okay, so I've made some modifications to the instructions, so we have a bad process here. So this basically says, hey, initial mandatory intake, you must ask for the username, the email, the style preference they have before you answer anything else. Collect this information, right? So when we hit test here to give it a shot, which frame should I try for a professional look? Now, because it's following my workflow, hey, don't answer any questions. Collect this information, you know, one question at a time. I just asked for, you know, a professional look, and it's asking for my name. Okay, fine, Daniel. Okay, nice to meet you, Daniel. Nice. Could I get your email address? Hey, man, I haven't even started. Now, you have to ask yourself, if I walked into one of their stores, assuming they have a retail store, right? If I walked into one of those stores, is that how you would talk to me? Does this give a good user experience? This is more of indexing for a lead gen, right? So I'm trying to collect information about this lead so I can add it to my CRM. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just how we do it is you should naturally extract that information from the user while not impeding the user experience. So what I want to do now is show you if we change our process a little bit and have it sort of take the customer where they want to go, and collect that information in a more subtle way, you'll see the user experience be different. Okay, so here are some changes I've made. Now I changed the process to your goal. Your goal is to assist the user in selecting their frames while collecting the name and email within the conversation. Aim to gather it within the first couple of turns. Timing, try to get it within the first 2 conversations. If the user has a technical question or needs an immediate answer, go ahead and answer, but gently ask for the contact information. So you can see I added a little bit more natural way of communicating with customers, the way a human would if they showed up in your store. So I'm going to go ahead and hit test here, and let's see the difference. So which frame should I try for a professional look? The exact same question we asked last time. And let's see what it responds with. Great question for a professional look. Look for the shape, materials, colors, and the fit. If you'd like, I can pull some recommended frames for you. Would it be okay if I get your name and email so I can save your pics and send the home try-on details? So you could see how they have a try-at-home service that they offer. But they say, hey, you know, I'm trying to give you something, and the way for me to be able to provide you this service, I need your name and email. It's a much more natural way to ask for this information, right? So we want to make sure we're not too rigid with our workflows, but we actually achieve the goal of gathering the information. So here's where keywords, the second point, could play a factor in our scenario here when buying glasses. So the bad prompt here says if the user mentioned prices, show them the pricing table. If they mention shipping, show them the shipping information. While this provides information promptly for the user, it takes away the nuance of, well, the price is actually heavily dependent on where I'm shipping to, how far away you are from our warehouse, and if you're using high index lenses or not. So when a user mentions price or shipping, analyze the statement and ask, try to provide a quote for them and try to address their hidden cost concerns, right? Then you may ask for their address, collecting more information for the previous point, and inform them on why the price variability within the same frames matter, because the lenses actually make a big difference, more than the frames, on the type of lenses that you select. But they won't know, hey, use a high index lens, a low index lens. They may not know that. So you want to gently educate them and guide them to, oh, you mean high index lenses, let me show you those prices. Low index lenses, let me show you those prices. But if I hedge towards show them the price or ask them, do you want high index or not? I may not know what high index means, right? So we want to be careful with optimizing for our keywords and optimizing specifically for just blatant, regurgitate some data for them. Be a little bit more nuanced. Ask, understand the statement, understand why they're asking this, address their concerns, then educate and provide that information. So here is the last point I want to make here is if we over optimize our workflows to one shot to get you at the end, here's the frame that you're looking for, here's exactly what you're looking for. You may not have it in stock. So if the user asks for a frame that we don't have in stock, tell them, sorry, it's unavailable right now, and apologize. Well, you just lost the sale there, or you're forcing them to go back and start over and try to find something else. So a better prompt would be, always offer at least 2 choices based on the user's preference. If we're out of stock, don't end the interaction there. Identify the style DNA and go find the next best, closest choices and alternatives to that, because you don't want to end with, sorry, I don't have that in stock right now, or that specific material or color we don't have. So guide them towards alternatives. Don't be so rigid to say, okay, go search and report back on the search results. Well, the search results may be, I don't have any, or I'm out of stock. You just killed the sale there. Or if the user really cares, they're going to start all over again with identifying the other options for them. So having related and alternative products for them baked into how the chatbot is acting less like a search engine and more like a concierge, like a stylist for them. So this is very important, not to over-index on your flows to try to provide one single answer, because the answer may be, sorry, I don't have it. So I hope that helps you write better prompts for your AI. And if you're looking for a chatbot for your business, head over to gnomeai.com type in your domain name, and let's see what Gnome AI can do for you.